In my administration, we will ensure that this system is in place. And I will tell you, it will be on land, it will be on sea, it will be in air. We will have a proper tracking system.
Let me ask you at home, and even the guys here in the studio, a question. Let's say your boss offered you an easier way to log onto your computer in the morning, or bypass having to get change for the vending machine, or even get through a secure door by having a microchip planted in your hand. Anyone? Yes? Anyone? Yeah, well, it's apparently happening, and not everybody's happy about the idea.
After 9/11, the Congress passed the Real ID law after the suggestion of George W. Bush and the 9/11 Commission. The idea behind it was simple. They wanted to make it harder for terrorists to get IDs. On 9/11, a lot of the terrorists that committed that atrocity had IDs from multiple states, and they used it to get on the planes, which they were then able to hijack. The 9/11 Commission said the thing that needed to happen was it needed to be a consistent standard for getting IDs across the country. And they made it very simple. To get an ID that satisfies the Real ID requirement, you need these things: a birth certificate, a social security card, proof of address, federal scan capability, and importantly, it must be made at the state and not the county level.
From News10.com put out July 2018, DMV encouraging New Yorkers to get the Real ID. K5 News, July 2018, Washington driver's license change to comply with Real ID. Daily Press, June 2018, Virginia DMV introduces new Real ID credentials. The Chronicle, July 2018, Ohio requires new ID by 2020. Golden State Newspaper, June 2018, all California driver's license must upgrade to the new Real ID. Doesn't this kind of remind you of something?
The government's now putting a national ID card together, and they want checkpoints.
We will be carrying our papers, and they have recommended there'll be checkpoints throughout the country.
Isn't that what Nazi Germany did that everybody in America was against? Checkpoints, papers, please. May I see your papers?
The retail sector is forecast to grow to $10 billion by 2020, which is 3 times that of 2017. And this retail concept has also become the latest battleground for the country's tech giants like Tencent and Alibaba. Valerie Tan has more from Shanghai.
If you live in China, basically, you cannot live without WeChat. It is your to-go app for everything, including opening doors. And let's see what's in store.
Good morning. So when I moved here to China a couple of months ago, I kept getting funny looks every time I would pull cash out of my wallet to pay for things. And then I got one of these. It's a code on my phone, and now I can basically buy anything here in China. When you pay for something, how do you pay for it?
Mobile phone.
On the streets of Beijing, cash is definitely not king.
What do you think of people who use cash to pay for things?
That's rare and weird, he says. Only the elderly and people who don't know how to use a phone pay cash. This woman says, I rarely take my wallet when I go out, just my phone. That's because those phones can buy just about anything, from clothes in the store to steamed buns on the street. They're used to pay for bike rides and bus rides, rent and utility bills.
When was the last time you used cash? A month ago? Wow, that's a long time.
WeChat and Alipay dominate China's mobile market, and payments on their platforms totaled more than $5.5 trillion last year, a 200% jump from the year before.
Well, it's experimental, so we can't be sure of what's going to happen. But you know me, I'm an experimental type of guy. So I would go along with it just when it comes to work, nothing else, hey? But basically, what this company is doing, they're trying this out. And I've got to tell you, this is RFID technology. That probably doesn't mean a lot to anybody at home. It's the same technology we have in our badges that we use to get into work. So there's a company in Wisconsin. They're giving employees the option, and about 50 out of the 80 employees have opted to do it. So they can, instead of using the badge, or instead of using their phone to buy something at the vending machine, or instead of using a credit card, they just have a little chip inserted into their hand right there between the thumb and your pointer finger. It's done by either a tattoo artist or someone who has a license to do piercings put in that way. And it's really just the same technology that we're using inside other devices, only you can't lose it.
The president was in Tampa, Florida last night for a rally ahead of the state's primary this month. Mr. Trump pushed for voter ID by making an erroneous comparison with grocery shopping.
You know, if you go out and you want to buy groceries, you need a picture on a card. You need ID. You go out and you want to buy anything, you need ID and you need your picture.
Hi there, how you doing?
I am wonderful.
I am so sorry. That flight is canceled.
No.
Customer incident at the other end.
What? So when is the next flight?
Yeah, they're all kind of full.
I booked this weeks ago. It's my best friend's wedding.
I'm sorry.
I have to get there. I have to.
Okay, let's see what we can do.
Oh, thank you.
I see there's one standby seat on another plane leaving tonight.
Oh, okay.
That's reserved for members of our Prime Flight program. You gotta be a 4.2 or over to qualify.
Oh, I'm a 4.2.
I'm afraid you're actually a 4.183.
Well, that's not my fault. Some woman dinged me down in the cab. Can't you just...
I'm sorry, it won't let me book it without the correct ranking.
But it's so close.
There's just nothing I can do.
Christ, I mean, surely.
I'm gonna have to ask you to moderate your language then.
Sorry, it's just... I'm maid of honor. I cannot miss this wedding.
And I am so sorry about that.
Can you call the supervisor?
I cannot do that.
Can you just call the supervisor?
I cannot do that.
Call the f***ing supervisor.
Okay, that's profanity. We're zero tolerance on profanity.
I'm sorry, it's just...
Yeah, I have to serve the next customer.
No.
Step away, ma'am.
You've got to help me.
I'm so sorry. I've called security.
Oh, no, please don't do that. I'm a 5-starring you. 5 stars.
What's the issue here, Hannah?
Intimidation and profanity.
Oh, no. I was not intimidating.
Don't speak, ma'am.
I was just trying to...
Okay, so, in order to restore calm, I'm invoking my authority as airport security to dock you 1 full ranking point as a punitive measure. This is a temporary measure.
No!
The score reverts to normal in 24 hours.
No, but I need it now.
Period. All down votes are subject to a ×2 multiplier.
×2?
We recommend you avoid negative feedback at this time.
I'm on double damage?
Please, remove yourself from the airport immediately.
Okay, well, due to your rank.
China plans to give all of its 1.4 billion citizens a personal score based on how they behave. Ben Tracy is in China with what's behind the government's scoring system.
Good morning. The government here says it is trying to purify society by rewarding those who are trustworthy and punishing those who are not. So like the credit score that most Americans get for how they handle their finances, Chinese citizens are now getting social credit scores based on everything from whether they pay their taxes on time to how they cross the street.
When Leo Hu recently tried to book a flight, he was told he was banned from flying because he's on the list of untrustworthy people. Leo is a journalist who was ordered by a court to apologize for a series of tweets he wrote and was then told his apology was insincere. I can't buy property. My child can't go to private school, he says. You feel you're being controlled by the list all the time. And the list is now getting longer, as every Chinese citizen is being assigned a social credit score, a fluctuating rating based on a range of behaviors. It's believed that community service and buying Chinese-made products can raise your score. Fraud, tax evasion, and smoking in non-smoking areas can drop it. If a score gets too low, a person can be banned from buying plane and train tickets, real estate, cars, and even high-speed internet. It's a good thing, this woman says. There should be punishment for people who can't behave. China's growing network of surveillance cameras makes all of this possible. The country already has an estimated 176 million cameras, and it plans to have more than 600 million installed by 2020.
It can recognize more than 4,000 vehicles.
Xu Li is the CEO of SenseTime, one of China's most successful artificial intelligence companies. It has created smart cameras for the government that can help catch criminals, but also track average citizens.
This knows every person, every bike, every car, every bus. In several big cities in China, including here in Shanghai, the government is even tracking jaywalkers. Cameras record them going through intersections, zero in on their face, and then publicly shame them on nearby video screens. Now, there are upsides for people the Chinese government considers trustworthy. They can actually get better interest rates at banks, they can get discounts on their energy bills, and China's largest online dating site reportedly even boosts the profiles of people with high social credit score.
In my left hand, which is about the size of a grain of rice, I use it to access the office. I just swipe my hand at the door. I can turn off the alarm, I can log into the different...
They're in our access cards, our credit cards, our cell phones, and our passports. We even use them to tag our livestock and our pets. What's enticing about this technology is that we could eventually store all of our personal information on RFID chips and never have to carry keys, cards, or cash again. People all over the world are posting about getting chipped. But despite the hype, the idea of implanting a computer chip inside the body doesn't sit right with everyone. And one day, we may not have a choice.
All right, first and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone that rule well, and a sincere salutation to the Akim pushing his truth and sincerity, Bahashem Rakak Wadash. All right, I've been a little ill, so excuse me if my voice is kind of off. Haven't been in the best of health because I got ill as of Monday. All right, but I want to bring this out, all right, and basically warn, you know, those that can receive it. You know, the scriptures say, give them warning from me, all right, for this is, you know, from Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, you know, Lord willing, I be a servant of his, that this RFID microchip, it is the mark of the beast, you know, and his biblical prophecy is being pushed according to Revelation 13. You see this technology that is helping to pave the way for this chip to be implemented. And, you know, we have the chip, you know, in different parts of the world, and its technology and its different facets and avenues that they're using to help push it. All right. So some of the things that were mentioned, I'm going to go over it real quick. You see President Trump saying there would be a tracking system and it would be implemented on land, sea, and air. You also see in the video that employers chipping their employees, you know, to go in and out of the workplace. That's a little, you know, wow. How important is that to get in and out? So yeah, I'm gonna go get chipped so I can walk in and out of slavery. People are simple. It says new real IDs. All right. They're going to implement those. They have the RFID technology in them, you know, kind of like the debit card that has that little square silver or gold chip. All right. Depending on what yours has. These are all things that are helping to condition the people. All right. To accept the RFID microchip. You know, these new real IDs have federal scan capability. So, you know, federal soldiers, you know, they'll be able to scan it, you know, just like you scan food at the grocery store when you do, you know, when the cashier has the gun, you know, the scanning gun that, you know, on the back of, you know, purchased items, the barcode. All right. That's how your ID is going to be. You're going to be able to scan it, you know. And it's going to be federal, not just state, it's going to be on a federal level. So you can actually, you know, be scanned anywhere when they have this system set up, and it's coming, it's here. That's why the Lord put the Spirit on brothers to, you know, teach this and bring this out. And they, you know, another fact about the new Real IDs, it's that they're making people get this new Real ID because it's gonna deter a terrorist. You know, if you don't have that new Real ID, you're going to be labeled as a terrorist. So these devils have it very carefully planned on what they want to do. All right, they're going to say, if you don't get one, then, you know, what do you got? What are you hiding? You know, you must be a terrorist. Okay, you know, you also see in the video that they're starting to score citizens in China. Okay, that's ill. You know, if you don't act a certain way, you're not going to be able to take a flight, or what were they saying about the guy, his taxes or whatnot? You know, different things like that. That's what these devils want to do. They want to have a utopian society, a so-called perfect new world order where everybody just bows down to them, you know, and they're to be the ultimate slave master. That's what Esau, the Edomites, you know, the so-called white man, wants to do. All right, he wants to just, you know, have you subject unto him. All right, so that's what these visual aids was for, you know, because some people, it's hard for them to get it, but they're not going to get it, you know, because ultimately the Lord has blinded them. And that's a scary thing, man. You know, so we have to be thankful, you know, every day, all the time, every minute, you know, pray without ceasing that the Lord don't take the Spirit from us, you know, and have us thinking all kinds of bugged out shit, you know, because that ain't conducive to your walk. You know, when you thinking all kinds of other types of madness. You know, you're supposed to be focused on the brotherhood, being spiritual, being righteous. You know, everything else is, hey, that's some other shit, you know. I'm going to go ahead and get into the scripture. This is Revelation 13, Salakia, and 16. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. Okay, so it don't matter if you're a child to an elderly person, rich or poor, free, incarcerated. Everyone is going to have to, at one point, receive this RFID microchip in their hand or in their forehead. And with this technology, with this visual aid, you know, this video that I put in front of this lesson, it's showing you what type of society, what's it going to be like with this RFID chip implemented. All right. That's why I brought it out, because there were some things that I have not seen before, especially the scoring system that they have on the people. You know, the only thing I see, you know, you see that in the Demolition Man, where they were getting tickets for saying bad words. You know, you've seen that in Elysium. Okay. When the guy, he was on probation with that Matt Damon, he was on probation. Okay. And they were, he was getting hostile, and his hostility was causing him to get tickets, I believe, or, infractions or fines or something like that to that point. You know, this is the society this devil wants, a so-called perfect, where, you know, you submit to his bugged out way, you know, and that way is bugged out, man. Life is, you know, you make mistakes in this life, but in the kingdom, it's going to be righteous. It's going to be under the rule of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. Salakia, I've been sick. So yeah, those are just a visual aid, all right, of some of the things that are going on. You know, these devils have everything recorded on camera, all right. They have a scoring system. They have RFID chips. They have you know, IDs, eye scan, fingerprint on your phone. All right, they have all different types of things, all right, set up in the future, which they think they're going to be able to rule in the future. They think they're going to outsmart the Lord, but it's not going to happen. You also see that in the movie Minority Report with Tom Cruise, where, you know, he's walking around and there's camera scanning his eye to see, you know, if he's part of the system. All right, and anyone else who's not part of the system, all right, is going to live underground. You know, you know, Aaron Russo also said in his interview that you know, they're going to cut off your chip if you're not compliant. You know. But you know, in my opinion, they're going to want to kill you if you're not compliant. If you don't take that, well, the scriptures say that. it says, I'm going to continue, Revelation 13 and 18. Here is Salakia 17 verse. It says, and that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark. You're not going to be able to buy or sell anything, man. Either you're, even, you know, well, that explains itself. It says, and that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark. Only he that has the mark will be able to operate in this society, you know. We all need to buy and sell, man. You know, we all either have businesses or we work and we need to buy things. So that's what this devil wants to do, man. He's going to have everything on lock. All right. But Yahweh Shemi Ashai is going to destroy, all right, the Edomite, all right, along with the heathen and the wicked, 2/3 of Israel. It says, save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. Here is wisdom. Let him that hath understanding. And not everyone has understanding. You see a lot of people come up against the truth, this naked truth that the RFID is the mark of the beast. Count the number of the beast. All right, we know the beast is the EU and NATO. All right, which America controls because these nations do what America wants. All right, and America's controlled by these elites. These elites bow to Satan. All right. For it is the number of a man, all right, and these devils, every RFID chip has its own unique number, all right, and his number is 603 Now, when you go into that word, 603 it says Chi Psi Stigma.
Strong's G 5516. Chi Psi Stigma.
Stigma.
Chi Psi Stigma.
Chi Psi Stigma. Remember that word stigma. We're going to visit it a little later, but I'm going to jump back. Let me go back real quick. This is Revelation 13 and 15, that word. See, my bad. Salakia 16. Let's jump back to this verse. Let's get this word, charagma.
Strong's G 5480. Charagma. Charagma.
It says, of the mark stamped on the forehead or the right hand as the badge of the followers of the Antichrist. Now, the point I want to get here is, it says marked, stamped on the forehead of the right or the right hand as the badge of the followers of the Antichrist. All right. So those that follow the beast, all right, basically these wicked elites, okay, who rule America, will receive this, man. All right. Now we can get into the whole breakdown, but I want to make this as quick as possible, man, because the scriptures say the men of the Lord are gonna be of a quick understanding and the fear of the Lord. All right. So if you follow this system, this beast system, all right, these elites, man, the rulers of America, all right, who rule all these damn nations, when you really look at it, you're actually following your master, man. Now, I said earlier, remember that word stigma. Let's go to this in the Galatians, 6, and it's about the 17th verse. This is from henceforth, let no man trouble me, for I bear in my body the marks of the Lord Yahweh Shai. It's the Apostle Paul speaking. Let's go with that word marks. There's that word stigma, right? We read it in Revelation. That word stigma, which is 603 Chi Psi Stigma. It's that word stigma, man. Right? We also read charagma, all right, Revelation 13 and 18, that it's a stamp or an imprinted mark on those the followers of the Antichrist. Now here's that word stigma.
Strong's G 4742. Stigma.
I hope you follow me here.
Stigma.
It says a mark pricked in or branded upon the body. To ancient Oriental usage, slaves and soldiers bore the name or the stamp of their master or commander, branded or pricked, cut into their bodies to indicate what master or general they belong to. You see? In the ancient world, they used to prick or brand soldiers, man. Or bore the name or the stamp of their master on them to indicate who they belong to. All right? The followers of this beast system, all right, they're gonna let themselves be branded, man. And we know America's gonna push this, man. These wicked elites, these, you know, they want to control the world. They're gonna have the whole world, you know, whether you're small or elderly, or, you know, rich or poor, free or bond. They're gonna push this RFID microchip upon the whole world, man, to indicate who do you belong to. But Paul says what? He bears the what? The marks. For I bear in my body the marks of the Lord Yahushua. All right, so he's saying spiritually he's branded, you know. He's stamped with the holy sealing of the Lord. Okay? That's who he served, you know, and that's who we want to be branded to, you know. Send, what does it say in Ezekiel? Put a mark on the foreheads of those that sigh and cry for all the abominations done in the midst thereof. We want to be them. But the wicked are going to be branded with what? The mark of the beast, man. And this is what happens to those who take the mark of the beast. This is Revelation. Let's see. 14 and 9. And the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast and his image, all right, because you can't love this society, man, or the things that come in this world. You know, you can't love the technology, all right, and their bugged out new world order that they want to implement, man. If any man worship the beast and his image and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, right? So if you receive that RFID, because that's what it is, all right, whether you want to accept it or not, you know, whether you hear or forbear, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of the Most High, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation. And he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb. So basically, you're going to be burnt, man. You're going to be burnt with fire and brimstone in the presence of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. And the smoke of the torment ascendeth up forever and ever, and they have no rest day nor night, who worship the beast and his image, and whoever receiveth the mark of his name. You see? So that's the judgment, man. If you receive that RFID, you're gonna be burnt, man. Because that's really what it is, man. It's a branding and showing ownership. All right, and you don't want to save your life in this world. You want to lose your life for the Lord's sake. All right. So this is a real quick run through of this. You know, I just wanted to bring some of this visual aid out because there was some things in there that I hadn't seen before, you know, only in movies. But yeah, they're doing that, especially that scoring of behavior in China, you know. That's what these devils want. This is what these devils want to do, man. They have very intricate systems set up, man. All right, and these elites, they have a deep. The scriptures say in the book of Psalms, the heart of every one of them is deep, man. They've been planning this for a very long time. They got the world on lock, like in Job 9:24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. All right, and you have a lot of debate, all right, amongst Israel. Okay, but there's an Israel of the Most High who they're gonna see through all the bullshit, man, and they're gonna know very quickly that this is the mark of the beast, man. You really have to hear the breakdown just once. You really have to just study it for yourself. Just, you know, and the spirit it'll reveal it to you, you know. So, you know, to the spirit, I just wanted to bring this out so that, you know, if anybody can receive it, man, don't take that mark of the beast, man. That seals your fate. You know, the Lord's going to burn you alive. All right. Lord willing, this was edifying. I want to say Brakta Yahweh, Brakta Yahweh Shai, Brakta Yahweh, Brakta Yahweh Shai, Brakta Yahweh, Brakta Yahweh Shai. Shalom.